Here we go. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. And you know what? I haven't done a spotlight in a minute, but you know what? It's going to be well worth the wait because, all right, this particular spotlight, all right, has a lot of legs to it, a lot of dimensions to it, a lot of angles to it. I got the one, the only. All right, you see her name there, Gail Clay, but we don't call her Gail Clay. All right. This is DJ Cocomotion on WSME SM Enlightenment Radio, where she's returned to the airwaves, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to take out this opportunity before we go any further to welcome you back.
Oh, well, thank you. I was pleasantly surprised when I got the email that you guys are going to start the mix shows again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was very eager, to join. I had a good time the last time. I thought it was an awesome product the first time you guys did it, and it was really good to see that it came back.
Yeah. And talk about awesome products. I mean, you make our product awesome with your that contribution that you make each week.
Thank you.
It is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard yet, you got to tune in Saturday nights, Saturday evenings. DJ Cocomotion on the set. I mean, it's it's a hell of a thing. And this young lady right here is not only very talented DJ, and we're gonna get into your DJ, and we're gonna get into your history and all of that stuff. But you got this waveforms thing going on.
Yes.
And I see it in back of you there. All right. And I'm digging the peace sign there. Making the V of the wave.
Okay.
Right away, that's letting you know what the vibe is. The vibe is peace.
Yes. Unity, self-awareness, self-pride.
Wow.
Showing what you stand for, the whole nine.
Huh. Okay. So you got a lot of valuable principles there that, people need to acknowledge anyways. And that's a fantastic thing. So what is it? All right. I know DJ Cocomotion. And I know you as just in the DJ circuit here for many years and just doing your thing. But I want to know Gail Clay.
Okay.
And Gail Clay, where does if we was to tell your story, because I got to get into the mind behind waveforms, because we're gonna bring this home and really get into your company there, but I want to get into your head and what is it that makes you tick, because you're obviously a artistically sort of inclined person there.
Oh, thanks. Yes. I've been I'm a freehand artist. I've been drawing since I was a kid. And I have a lot of pieces, like freehand pieces that I've done that I just, I do these drawings and then people say you should sell them. But once I do them, I fall in love with them. So I actually have them framed, hanging up on my own wall.
They're your children.
Yeah, so I can't get rid of them. And, I've always been like on the creative tip. So the way the waveforms came about was I was actually, it actually came from DJing. This is back in the day when we had vinyl and you either had the clean version or the not clean version. And if
Mm.
you couldn't get your hands on the clean version, you had to either memorize the song and bleep out each curse, you know what I'm saying, by
Right.
hand. And then I started with the Adobe Audition. So I would record the song and I would go through the song and I would cut out all the curses. But there's one particular song, I don't remember what it was. It had a lot of the N word in it. And,
Mm.
that was a no-no on the radio. So
Right.
I was going through, and what I had noticed was every time, like I would come across that word, the waveform was exactly the same. And I was like, and it got to the point where I could just look at it and pick it out. And then I just thought, I was like, that would be really cool to use that, like, to make a message.
Right.
So, then I started, and that's how waveforms got started. So I just picked 5, like, the words that I thought were powerful, like respect, love, um, justice. I have lift your fist, and then I just made messages out of the actual waveform. So I figure you can't get any deeper than that when you're trying to get your message across, because you can't go any further than the waveform, because that's where it all began. You know what I'm saying? That's like the
Right.
heart of everything. So that's how that came about.
And sound is so much a vital part of our existence,
Hmm.
and so much more so than what people realize, because those sounds and the sounds that we make, and just the words that we use, those words themselves, they have energy to it. And it's like you've broken it down to the essence in that. And that's still even something I want to get more into. I'm still trying to get into you.
Okay.
So you said you was drawing. So the waveforms, that the logo that you have, that's
Hmm.
something that you drew yourself.
Yeah, that's original. I was
Wow.
Yeah, that was my original logo, and then I switched over to something that more related to the shirts. But when I was doing the logo, I thought about the message I wanted, like peace.
Right.
So then I was picking out different graphics, and I was like, well, the peace sign looks like a V. You know what I'm saying? And then the O could just be the actual peace sign. So there you have it. Waveform
Brilliant.
peace.
Absolutely brilliant. So where did you start out this artistic journey? I mean, where
Wow.
was it? Were you a kid
Mhm.
drawing?
Yeah, I would say,
Where did it all start? Your art.
oh God, I would go back as far as 6th grade. I think I won a few art contests in the 6th grade, like local art contests.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, like when we had the mall, the old mall back here in Waterbury, they used to have like grade show art school contests, and so I entered a couple of pictures,
Okay.
and I won. You know,
And these are pictures you were drawing?
Yes, these are just like freehand drawings. And then from there I went on to do more detailed stuff as I got older. Like first I started out doing just pencil, like black and white, a lot of shading. Like that's my specialty actually, because that's how I used to draw. Everything was just black and white.
Okay.
And then when I took a class in college, just because I needed a prerequisite, then I got introduced to color. So I learned to work with pastels and colored
Uh-oh.
pencils. And
Okay.
then that's how my other pieces came about. With and they're all like urban. All my art is mostly like urban based. Like I have one I call Urban Air, and it's basically like this a black kid on a skateboard doing like one of those tricks, because I want to show my pictures that like everybody's equal. Like nobody's like you can find all nationalities in the hood. You can find them in gated communities. It's just
Right.
like everybody's equal, So a lot of my pictures are just like urban. There's one, there a street in New Haven I used to live on, Cassius Street, with a friend of mine, and they used to open up the fire hydrant in the summer, and and the kids would play in the fire hydrant. So I have a picture depicting that. I have one with a guy that does graffiti, and it just says music equals life. It's all really urban based. And I think when I got introduced to color, that kind of really opened a whole new world for me. You know, it made me more creative.
So your introduction to the color was that, it sounded like that was almost like an accident kind of thing, like you stumbled across it.
Yeah, because I would never looked at pastels. They look like crayons to me, or chalk.
Yeah.
you know. And so I would have never even thought about it, but this one teacher, he just like different possibilities, the way they blend together and the different things you could do. And so it just like made me whole want to do something completely different, you know. I still
Okay.
do the pencil drawings, but I'm really more partial to the color now.
So you really are a true artist.
Yeah.
And as I've seen with artists, um, and on a good day, I like to consider myself an artist. Um, we have different um, different ways of expressing the creativity.
Hmm.
So this is seems like it's just one outlet
Yes.
because you have a strong connection to music, and if I was to ever think of you, I think of you as a DJ and more of a music person first. So
Hmm.
where does that come into Gail Clay's life
Oh boy.
as you're coming up? You know, you've got this artistic stuff, you're drawing as a kid. Like, at what point did you? How did you discover DJing?
Oh, okay. Well, my sister was a student at UConn in stores, and I think I was like a sophomore in high school when she was going to UConn. So she would invite me up to go to parties on the weekends. Now I would listen to like Mr. Magic and
Yeah.
uh, Kid Capri and everybody, and I never understood how they did what they did, but I just thought it was awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I go to this party one night, and they had a DJ there. It was in a basement or something like that. So this DJ, he had the two turntables, and he had the headphones and the mixer and everything. And I still didn't know what he was doing, but all I knew was I was in complete awe of this man. I didn't dance one dance. I just stared at him the whole night because he had complete control of the crowd. The party was rocking, everybody was dancing. It was the best time I ever had. And when I left that party, I told myself, I got to learn how to do that. So, coming back home, still not really knowing anything about 12/10s techniques, not anything like that. So I met a guy that used to be on WYBC, Casey Liddell, way back in the day. I don't know if you
Okay.
Yeah, so I asked him how he got on the radio. So he told me how to go about it. So I went to IBC, took the test, passed it, and started out in jazz because I was familiar with that. And then I met another DJ, Lee, Lee, Mad Mix Morgan.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah. So Lee and I were doing a show because like he was another person I was in awe of his DJing because his show was just off the chain to me. I thought it was like one of the best things I ever heard.
Okay.
So he kind of took me under his wing, and we started working together. And first I was the host of his show, and then I told him I wanted to learn how to mix. So we would go down to the station, a couple of times a week, and he would teach me the fundamentals and the basics of it. And then I guess he felt that I was ready, and I didn't think I was. I'll never forget that night. We went down to do the show, and he said, and now we're gonna have my name was still Gail then. He said Gail's gonna get on the turntables, and I was so mad because I didn't think I was ready. That off air we had this big old argument. Right?
Wow.
I was so pissed at him, and he didn't care. So we came back, and he sure enough he I had to do it, and it went well. And then just the rest is history.
Shout out to Lee Mad Mix.
Yeah, I haven't seen him
Wow.
in a while, but he was the guy that taught me everything I know. I have to say that.
So you owe a lot to this guy.
I do, I do. He even gave me my first DJ name, which was Diva G. That's what I was going as at YBC. DJ Diva G. That was his idea.
Diva G. I like it.
Yeah.
So how did Diva G become Cocomotion?
Well, Diva G left the scene for a while, and
Oh,
yeah, because it was so much. I just wasn't used to all the things that go on, behind the scenes in radio and music and stuff like that.
yeah.
It was a bit much for me. I had to get used to it, so I kind of left. And then after a while, I got the itch again, and then I joined WESU in Middletown. And that's when I actually came back, and I decided to change my name because Diva G had baggage, good and bad.
Uh oh.
I wanted a fresh start, and
Hello.
Yeah, just a clean slate. So I changed my name to DJ Cocomotion, and then I just been mixing from there.
So is there a meaning behind the Cocomotion?
Well, when I was thinking of my name, I always liked that song, that disco song. What was it the Locomotion?
Ah,
Yeah. So I thought about that name, and I was like, well, I'm Coco, I'm brown, so I said Coco.
right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you starting out DJing,
Hmm.
and when you joined the station, you was doing jazz.
Yes.
Now these days, when you're on SM Enlightenment Radio,
Hmm.
people are hearing you playing house music and only
Yes.
house.
Yes.
So what's up with that?
Well, oh, because I don't know if you guys watching those, but Doc and I go back in like to the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like I first met Doc when I was on WYBC, him and his partner Steve,
Yeah,
and that's when I was doing hip hop, and I would do I was going to New York and I was hearing house and I really liked it, but I was mainly a hip hop DJ, but I would do like a half hour house set on my show every night. And I kind of fell in love with it. Um, then when I started DJing again, I thought about doing hip hop, but I'm not really into the stuff that's out now because it's not the same to me as it was. The music
right.
is not the same. So it's a little on the negative side, but house is always about unity and peace and happiness and just having a good time.
Mm,
So I kind of focused on that. Plus there's more music to listen to. Hip hop, if you're gonna stay classic, the classics are the classics. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And and everybody's playing the classics, so you end up hearing the same songs on every show. You know what I'm saying? Just mixed differently. So house is so free, and the beats are so off the wall, and there's just so much of it, and it's always positive, and even if it's a little negative, it's still bringing you some kind of a message.
So what's the
Yeah,
deal? You don't like the modern day hip hop? What's going on?
I'm not really into it. I can't go from listening to I don't know, like LL Cool J at his prime, or Wu Tang, or Brand Nubians to
Mm,
what they have now, you know. Because at least back then, hip hop had a message. It had, to me, it had a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It was more socially conscious. They were at least talking about things that were going on, not just nonsense. If
Well,
I could say.
yeah,
If I
got
could,
that big business involved there.
yeah, yeah.
But see, I look at it in two ways. In a way, and maybe the honeymoon is over with it because I had mixed feelings even 20 something years ago when the real strong gangsterism really hit hip hop and really changed the whole landscape of everything.
Yes.
Um, and we always hear about a bunch of different theories on how that came to be and why.
Hmm.
And some of those conspiracy theories, if you would even go so far as to call them that, because they really may not be, and this may be just true fact. The fact that you know the the powers that be just wanting to feed the you know uh, prison industrial complex there, and fill up the privately owned prisons and so on and so forth, and just seeing how the music just reflects that to program our young people to just idolize and subscribe to a lifestyle that ain't gonna do nothing but just put them in jail.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do. I think like it all started. To me, when they started villainize. Well, to me, Tupac was the first rapper that they really villainized. With the whole
Right,
thug. Yeah, he had thug life on his stomach, but it was people do things, but then that not maybe who they really are when they're
right.
like off stage. You know what I'm saying? But I think they took that kind of thing and they ran with it, because I don't know if you remember. Then they had everything was they wanted to put like the parental. advisory, that was a huge thing. Putting that little parental advisory on the actual CD cover,
Right.
trying to warn people, no graphic language, and I just think that okay, like our generation of rappers were more socially conscious than this generation of rappers. I feel like this generation of rappers are more concerned with money and bling than they are with whatever message they're putting out there and whatever they have to do to sell records. And I would say, and probably to satisfy the record label to a
Right.
point, they'll do. They have like no standards. Like it doesn't matter, and you got to have at least something in yourself to say, okay, I'm not going to go that far. You know what I mean? Like this, you have to be able to draw the line. And when you can draw the line, that makes you who you are. That shows that you have character. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure a lot of people have turned down opportunities because the message wasn't right for them. But then they keep searching until they find that crowd of people that doesn't care what the message is. As long as I'm, flossing on TV, that's all that really counts. And I feel like, yeah, you can do that now, but like 10 years from now, are you going to be proud of your body of work? When you look back on that, it's going to be something that you want to want your kids to see.
Right.
When you go to school, when your kids go to school, are they going to be teased about what you did, back in the day that you weren't really fully aware of? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why record labels like young kids, because they know that they don't really have that. Like they're so hungry to be famous that they don't think about the after effects of it, you know?
Yeah. 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 And things have changed in a lot of ways, but then in also a lot of ways, a lot of things have really remained the same. And one thing that I was going to say, that one point I wanted to make before we bounce to a break and we really get into more music, and I want to really get into your company, but I see the art form of hip hop in a lot of ways as when the gangsterism came into it, it's like, okay, now this is a real art form.
Mm-hmm.
And in the sense, whereas you start to see all of the different tentacles that it's growing and the way that it can just sort of be anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the culmination of like all music forms. It's more than its own genre. It is the everything, because when you could have a hip hop song that is happy or sad or that's left or right or you
Yeah.
know all different types of ways can make you want to love somebody, make you want to kill somebody, like all of these different things, then it's so much bigger. And that's an exciting concept, because then that means that that this thing is like really in the fabric of our lives. It ain't going anywhere. And
True.
it's always exciting to see where it goes. Like when Biggie was saying, rapping doot da ha, you never thought that hip hop would take this far.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and then you have Lil Nas X, and you have,
Oh God.
or yeah, but seriously though, you see all the different places where it can go, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow.
But I think the thing is, but it doesn't last. Now we
Right.
got the like I said, like back in the
But hip
night,
hop itself has lasted.
it has lasted, but the artists and the players don't. What we have now, what I feel we have is just a bunch of one-hit wonders. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody, I think, in this day and age that you're still going to be listening to 20, 30 years from now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it hip hop is here to stay, but a lot of the players aren't. Like I said, they're just like
Yeah.
disposable rappers. That's what I
Well,
call.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and all music forms have that. We
Yeah.
have our stars that come and go. So listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bounce to a break real quick, and then when we come back with Gail Clay, aka DJ Cocomotion, on Saturday nights right here on WSME, and I'm pretty sure Stevie's programming those mixes, whereas we can hear them other times of the day as well, and that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, we're just going to bounce to a break, pay some bills, and we're going to come right back with the Sunday Night Spotlight right here on WSME SM Enlightenment Radio. Don't go nowhere. WSMESM Enlightenment Radio. The great Doc P here with you. It is the Sunday Night Spotlight, or it is a spotlight, okay, which we air on Sundays, but you could be hearing this on another night of the week as well. I am the great Doc P. Tonight's guest is the one, the only DJ Cocomotion. We also call her, or she calls herself, Gail Clay, in the house. And she is the creator. Should I say creator? Should I say what? CEO, sole
Yeah,
proprietor,
yeah, pretty
business
much.
person,
Yeah.
all of the above waveforms, visual speech in the house. So where we last left off was us talking about the music and the state of affairs of hip hop and where things are. We spoke about how it is that you actually came into this thing as a hip hop DJ, and um, now you play a lot more house. Do you play more house? Like if you go out and do a gig, is it a house gig or is it just a gig where you just play everything?
Well,
'Cause
mainly
I know you do. I know you do house events,
yes.
right?
Well, I do. Right now, I'm spinning pretty much house if I go out, unless I have a request.
Right.
Like I do. I do more. Well, I do both, but I do more house than hip hop. Like I've done some skate parties around here. We've done, and I've done like the classics, hip hop and R&B. People hire me if they have a special request, but if it's my choice, I'm gonna put on a house party.
So the house music has become the preference.
Yes, absolutely. Like I
Is
said, I
that,
just
and that's a preference that has evolved.
yes, yes. And I think too, like when we were talking about like the state of hip hop, I I had a problem with, like, I don't want to play music that promotes, okay, the B word is all in it. Like I feel weird playing
Right.
a song and they're disrespecting women. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So it makes me feel some type of way. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of that made me shy away from hip hop. Just a lot of the messages and like the things they were saying and
Right.
things like that. You know?
Hey, you can't disrespect the woman,
Yeah.
black woman. You cannot disrespect our queens. Absolutely not.
No, and
And but you see, it's interesting that the music can go there, and it's not the only place that the music can go. It's just that the big business just gravitates to that more because that's a whole part of a big marketing thing.
yeah,
You see, so but what now with waveforms, you specifically get you make designs out of some. Well, some of the designs are made out of the actual the waveform itself.
yes, yep. It's the heart of our a lot of our garments are, the waveform is actually the heart of the garment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the
Yeah.
showcase on the shirt.
So in different words, because and it's interesting how different words they look a certain way, they feel a certain way, and those waveforms, that's you're visually seeing the energy of the word.
Absolutely. And I think it's a special kind of unity, because it doesn't matter, like if I say the word respect or you say the word respect, the waveform is always going to look the same. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it's kind of like it's a unity thing. Like it will, if five people showed up with a respect shirt on, it doesn't matter who has it, it's still going to be look the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yeah. It would be identical because the waveform has that unique appearance, which is unique
Hmm.
to the word itself.
Absolutely.
Wow. So every word has its fingerprint, and the waveform is like that fingerprint.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. So how long have waveforms been around? How long you been doing it?
I started the idea around. I got the idea around 2007, and it's had a lot of ups and downs. The first year, it was kind of like a planning phase, and then like the second year, I kind of like put it out, and then I kind of stepped back from it because I was doing other things, and then I decided I was going to get back into it, and so I would say I had the idea in 2007, but I didn't really start pushing it until say maybe 2010. You know, going out, making the shirts, doing vendoring, trying to get a Facebook page, a website, things like that.
That I love that. That is that everything is respect or
Oh,
respect is
respect is
everything.
everything.
Wow.
Yeah. I just had a lady, I did an event last weekend and she walked by and she was like, I believe in that. And so she brought two.
Yeah. Hey, that's and love looks a certain way.
hmm
What are
Yeah.
some of the other messages?
So I got a few shirts here. If I
Okay.
can show them. All right. This is the respect is everything. If I can show it. And then we have speak truth.
Nice.
And this is love, since you asked. This is what love would look like.
Oh, love looks and look at hold that back up. You look at the waveform of love. It looks nice and cuddly,
Yeah, just gentle.
gentle and cuddly.
Yeah.
And just
And then of course this is a lift your fist, and this is pretty much for, you know, everyone, especially what's going on nowadays when you want to show, that you stand for something.
right.
Yeah. And then justice. And it looks like justice. And like now that you said that about love, I look at these waveforms, they do look like justice.
Oh yeah.
Seek justice.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like looks like one of those fencing swords.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna just piercing and cutting through all of the BS and the nonsense and just delivering you to justice. You know?
hmm
Wow.
Yeah.
And so this is a concept that you came across, and I love it. It's a fantastic thing. I'd like to see what the waveform of positivity is everything, what that looks like.
Yeah. Well, this is a very versatile line too, because if, I was telling a friend of mine, said if I wanted to, like, I could go through every letter of the alphabet and pick out a word, to say never run out of designs. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Positivity could be one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking to do more. Like I have these five now, and then there's a few designs that I've done that aren't waveforms, like that I wanted to show unity, especially now. Like we have like this shirt I have on now, World Citizen. Like this is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then I have World Unity. I have One Love. I have there's another one that I have too. And I just wanted to show unity. So if any, we should be unified. Oh, and there's another one that just says unity, united, unified, because now more than ever, we need to unite,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in 100% agreement with that. And that's I think it's fascinating that you in your own way you are doing that. Just as I see the waveforms logo behind you with the peace sign and everything, it's like all that it is that you're doing is all headed in that direction of promoting peace and unity
hmm
to people. And hey, that's God's work right there.
Oh, well, thank you.
My opinion. That's God's work.
Yeah, well, I think of every day,
Yeah.
Spirit gave me the idea, so I'm just going to run with it, until I can't. I'll ride the horse till it fall off. See how far it takes me.
So with the designs and everything, um, this looks like something that's. Are you doing this all on your own right now, or do you have a step? Because I see this thing blossoming and growing into you really being a larger company. I know you started out recently. I mean, how are you operating this?
Well, I pretty much right now I'm just working by myself.
Hmm.
I brought all the equipment I need to produce the shirts, and it's like I said, it's just growing, so I'm able to pretty much handle things. But if hopefully with God's blessing it does grow bigger, then I would definitely look to bring other people in. Maybe other
Yeah,
designers or wherever anybody wants to help or I can hire people to do stuff or whatever.
yeah. Because I
Absolutely.
already see. I can already see where this thing is really really going somewhere because people need positivity. And now this going through the whole pandemic, that is this something that has actually helped with promoting the message, the uplifting messages of positivity, or did the pandemic you know put like a real hamper on things for you business wise?
Uh, well, during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of vendoring, and because people were still having like flea markets, like they had a flea market in Hartford, all summer last year, different pop up events, things in the summer, and I think it increased sales, because I was always coming home, I always sold, a decent amount of shirts.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, and I also think a lot with the social unrest helped a lot too. Because a lot of people were feeling certain type of way about certain things that have happened. You know,
Yeah, and a lot of your garments had the right kind of messages that were resonating with people.
yeah, absolutely. One
Um,
day I sold 15 shirts in one day. People were just snatching them up. Because they, felt connected. Especially the Seek Justice. I think that's got to be my best seller. There was the Seek Justice and the Respect is Everything, and
wow.
Lift Your Fist is a close third. But yeah, they were just feeling the messages.
And how do these ideas come to you? Is there like a specific um ritual or something that you do that
No.
because every idea and I don't know if you've come up with some that you printed out or that you looked at and said, I'm not going to go with that, or is I mean, because every message is a strong one. Every word, every one is a strong idea. So, I
Yeah.
mean, where you getting this? Where'd you get your funk from? Come on now.
I don't know. I'll just be sitting around and it'll just something just pop in my head. And then I'll go over to the computer and like the One Love that I did. Like I have been wanting to do a One Love shirt for a long time, but I just felt like it had been done to death. So I came up with a different way to show it. And hold on, give me 1 second, I'll show you this other one. So when I designed the One Love, I made it it's same message, but it's just a slightly different design.
Okay.
you know. And I got on the computer and I just started messing around and it just came together. I can't even explain it. You know what I'm saying? They just come together. you know. I'll fiddle around with the program and do a couple of different versions of it, and then I'll just come up with the one that I like.
Yeah. You see, some would say when that kind of thing happens, that's the all that there is. That's the higher power or whatever it is, just working through you. World unity.
Yeah, I like that one. Oh, that's my Rep City collection. For people in or out of Connecticut. Like I'm from Waterbury, so sometimes they call Waterbury the H2O or the dirty water.
Yep.
You know?
world citizen. And respect is everything. Such great messages. I mean, really good stuff. Where do you see waveforms in the next 5 years?
Uh, I don't know. I see what I would like to see is
Maybe Beyonce wearing your shirt or somebody.
maybe I have one celebrity that has my shirt, and it's this guy from Blue Bloods, Tennessee Davis.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Bridgeport. He's actually from Connecticut. I think he's from Bridgeport, and he was at a function that my sister was having at her job, and I was selling the shirts, but I gave him one. So that's my first celebrity endorsement.
Nice.
Tennessee Davis. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Okay, so we just got to get Snoop on the phone and a couple other folks and get you where you need to be, because I mean it's a great product. It really is, and I think it's pretty amazing that for all that it is, and the way that things look and the way that you created all of this energy around you and this company. It amazes me that it's still you doing it completely on your own. And
yeah. Well, it's hard to find when you're building,
right,
it's hard to find people that are gonna like build with you. And and that's the
like you
whole
have to already make it, and then you get some jokers that want to come in.
yeah,
And you'll get some that want to work for you, and you get others that want to come in and tell you how you should be doing your stuff.
absolutely. And so I just plug away because I figure, nobody can do for you better than you. And and if until I find the right people, I'm just gonna keep plugging away, unless it gets out of hand, you know what I'm saying? But as for now, I do my vendor things, and I come home, and I'm hoping that I feel good at the end of the day.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna continue this dialogue absolutely with all that it is that you have going on here, and of course you're gonna continue to be heard right here on WSME SM Enlightenment Radio
Oh, yeah.
every Saturday night. I want you to let the folks know how it is that they can get in touch with you. What is your website?
The website is waveforms.com. The waveforms is spelled with a Z. So WAVEFORMZ.com. I have a Facebook page, Waveforms, and I'm also on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. It was like Instagram was where it was that I really saw what it is that you had going on.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's some fantastic stuff. And DJing wise, I know that you recently just did an event over there on Mother's Day.
Yes.
What else is coming up?
There'll probably be some pop-ups, you know, through Rhodesia.
Okay,
She's doing the whole house scene. And I'll just be DJing whenever I can. I have, a few other stations that I spin on. So I think I'm on about 3 house stations right now.
nice.
Yeah, and there's one R&B station, but I'm not I have like I said, I have the classics, so I got to really build my R&B library before I really get into that. But yeah, I'm spinning on about 3 different stations right now. So that's what my main focus. And then whenever I get out and about in the public, I'm always happy to do that. That's where I have
Right.
my most fun. Yeah.
So it's funny because I've known you just as I knew that your name was Gail, but this seeing it written there almost messes with me because I always been just thinking of you as Cocomotion. I
Yeah.
mean, do you have a preference, or at the end of the day, are you still just Gail?
Oh, It doesn't matter. I'll be either or. Like some people just call me Coco, you know, some people call me Cocomotion, some people call me Gail. I guess it all depends on what level you know me on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like yeah, so most of my DJ and radio people just call me Cocomotion. I'm fine with that. You know. Yep, I'm
Well,
totally fine.
we're
So,
definitely fine with you. DJ Cocomotion. The name of the company is Waveforms. All right. And you got to get your hands on this merchandise here. And as far as the sizes, what sizes you got available over there?
I start at medium and I go up to 2X. I may go a little bit larger. I've been getting a few requests, you know, so maybe pick up a few, you know, maybe go up to 3 or 4. But right now it's medium to 2X.
Okay. Hey, it's Waveforms, visual speech, DJ Cocomotion, and you're going to be hearing more about the company because we're going to be running some promos for you, and especially when you're on the radio on Saturday night. So we want everyone to make sure that you check that out and pay close attention to the website for the exact time and the listings of all of the programs. DJ Cocomotion, Gail Clay, I want to thank you so much. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on the way out?
I'll just give a shout out to my family, um, you know, my homegirls, my homeboys. Y'all know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's listening, and just thank you for taking the time to hear what I have to say and checking out my products. And check me out on SME Enlightenment Radio, 11 o'clock Saturday nights.
Gail Clay.
And a shout out to you, Doc P, for having me.
Hey, well, shout out to you. Thank you for coming through. And hey, thank you for your contributions to this whole thing here. I mean, you make us a much better radio station just being who you are. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. All right.
All right. This has been the Spotlight right here on WSME SM Enlightenment Radio. Make sure that you keep it locked right here. We got more SM Enlightenment coming your way after this. Peace and blessings. Have a good night, folks.
All right.